Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Super Savage here, and today I'm gonna be telling you guys another story just because I don't know what else to post about, like, rather than just gameplay. And you know, I like telling stories, so today's little story is like a little one since the game file got corrupted when I was trying to upload. And it's also gonna have another story attached to it from another gameplay clip from like Black Ops 3. But today's little segment is gonna be on my crazy feminist teacher. So we have a Spanish class. It's me, Super J, and a bunch of other random kids. And me and Super J are sitting next to each other. We're working on like our project or whatever. And she comes over and she's like, "Too bad I won't be able to teach you guys next year." And I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I had no idea what she meant by that. And cause she's moving away next year, I was like, "Well, yeah, I guess so. I'm not gonna be here next year." And she's like, "No, that's not what I meant." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean then?" And she's like, "You gonna be here next year, and I'm not gonna be here to teach you Spanish 1 again." I'm like, "Okay." She's trying to call us out, and I look at Javion, and he's just like sitting there like, "The fuck?" And so I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna be here next year." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna be here next year." And she's just like, "Well, yeah, you are." And I'm like, "I'm probably gonna pass the class, and if I don't, I'm not taking it again. Like, I'm choosing this electively. I don't need it." And she's like, and then she's like getting all mad, and then she's like, "Well, if you chose to do this electively, then you can come sit over here in the desk in the corner." I'm like, and then like just made me sit over there, and then gave like both me and Javion like this packet of work for no fucking reason. And we did it. Well, I did it, and he'd almost finished. But then this was like one of the more recent stories. This isn't the first time she's done shit like this. The first time that like really made me mad was we were doing a project. And so she decides that, you know, she's gonna group us up, me, Javion, and John. And so we're all chilling in there. And she decides that, you know, she's gonna put us with one of the, like, this random girl, and nobody likes her. She's actually, like, really mean. She actually moved away recently. Everybody, like, got happy about that. She likes to snitch on people, but then never follow the rules. But then we're doing the project, and you know, we're doing pretty good on the project. She did a part, I did a few parts of it, and John did like a part. Like, I think she did the main meal. Like, it's like a food project, and you had to like translate and find a bunch of foods and put it on a poster board. She did the main meal, I did a drink and the dessert, and then John did a bunch of fun facts about the country we got and the food there. And then Javion, I think he helped with like the coloring in of the shit and like gluing it everywhere. And so we're past the part where we did all the work. Javion was actually injured for the first part. That's why I mostly didn't do anything. So it wasn't like he was just not doing work. He actually hurt his neck in wrestling. And like couldn't keep his head straight. And he ended up going to the nurse halfway through. And then so we're in the second part. We're putting everything together. And so this girl, we're working and we're gluing everything, and she just kept like refusing to let us put stuff on there, and we're like, "You need to let us do stuff," and she's like, "No." And then she just like, we finally finished it off, and then she's like, "You guys can clean it up," and then went out into the library, because that's where, you know, she sent us out to work on it, so then like the other half of the class can use the classroom. And so we're doing that, we're cleaning it up. And then next thing you know, the freaking librarian walks in, and he's like, "You guys aren't doing work and you're messing around." I'm like, how?" And she's like, somebody came up to me and did that, and said that. And so we were like, "Oh, we were cleaning up. I don't know what you mean. Like, I guess we'll leave." And she's like, "Yeah, go back to your class." And so we were walking back to the class after we picked up everything, grabbed our shit. And we walk in there, and then she pops out the door, the teacher, and she was like, you guys must feel so embarrassed. I'm like, what? And she's like, you guys must feel so embarrassed, you know, having to get kicked out of the library so that you could, or because you were messing around. I was like, yeah, we really weren't messing around. And then she's like, well, Amberlynn came back and told me you guys put nothing on the project, and all you did was mess around and throw shit. Like, we didn't even throw anything, like, straight up. And, so then she's like, I'm gonna have to give you a 0 on this. And I'm like, is this bitch serious? And then she was like, and I'm gonna have to give you guys lunch detention. I'm like, I'm not going to your lunch detention. And she's just like, just get inside. And so we go in there, and she's like going up to present like our project alone, because like we're not getting credit for it, so we had to go up by ourselves, or if she goes up by herself, because like we can't go up. Or maybe we're supposed to, but I didn't, and I wasn't gonna if I'm not getting credit for it. And then at the end, the teacher's like, oh, I'm giving you extra points since you did this entire project by yourself. And you did this entire project by yourself, and you came up and presented by yourself. And and they were like, does there anybody have any comments to make? And me and Jay were looking at each other, and I was like, if I wasn't gonna get in a lot of trouble, and plus I was planning on going to the office after this and like trying to tell them like, hey, what's going on here? Like, I want credit for my work. I was gonna be like, yo, maybe you should try not taking everybody else's work. But I ended up not doing that, so then it wouldn't seem like I was like, I don't know, it just wouldn't seem like I was like intentionally being an asshole, which is what I was trying to do, and then it wouldn't make my story more believable. So then I was like, we were like, when the class ended, like everybody went through our projects, and me and Javion and John were gonna go up there and rip off everything on the project that we didn't that we worked on. Oh, my controller's dead on the gameplay. I need to fix that. Shit. Well, anyway, like we ended up not doing it again for the same reason as why I didn't say that shit. And so I go to the office after this, and I'm like, hey, like, here's what happened, and like we want, at least I want credit, like whatever is detention, like I don't care, but I want credit for my project. And so she's like, okay, I'll look into it, and I like never go to the office about anything. So like she was like straight up believing me, like, which she should, because I was not lying. But she was like, yeah, I'll look into it. And then a while later, this was like I think like 2 months later, nothing's gone on. She's still asking me for the project. I'm like, or she's still telling me I'm getting a 0 on the project. And I ended up failing the quarter because of it, because she like took off so many points because of the project, and then she took off participation points because apparently we did nothing. And then she still references it to the day. You know what I'm saying? She'll be like, we'll be like, okay guys, you're going to the library to do some work, and like, and don't get sat out, and like we'll give me and Javion like a dead ass glare. And we're like, alright. So yeah, that's the end of that story, and it seems I have a couple minutes left. So, and I did say I was gonna tell another one, and that didn't go out as planned, or that story went on a little longer than I expected. But actually, I have no idea what I want to tell another story about. Actually, I guess I'll tell about what happened was recently. I was planning on putting this in another video. I guess I'll just put the clips in when I cover the topic. Basically, these kids at school, they were like ganging up on me, like talking shit, and like how they were so good at Call of Duty. And when this kid, he's finally getting an Xbox, and because he's like, or live, and because he sold his trailer or something. And he's like, okay, let's play. I spawned in on accident, fucking retarded ass choice, because it was a 1v1, I didn't know. And so they're all like, yo, fuck you, Connor. They basically were like, they didn't actually say that, but they were like, I was chilling in the back, and the kid decides, hey, let's come up, even though I told him, like, I'm in the back, you know, don't kill me, sorry about, like, spawning in. And they're like, he comes back, kills me, I come out, I'm like, I'm quick scoping your ass now. And then I'm joined late, and then I start shooting at him with the DSR. He kills me with a pistol again, so I pull an FA on, and then they were like telling another kid to join in, and then he joined in, and then I started shitting on all of them, and I ended up winning. And then they decided, hey, let's go into a TDM and 4v1 me. And when that happened, I basically won 75 to 44. I was hitting quad feeds. I think I had a collateral. I was hitting quad feeds. I don't know what they call the feeds where you hit 5, but I hit that too. I was getting UAVs and shit, and I went to save the clip in my recorded or my recent games so that I could like maybe like use it in gameplay as background because it was just dope. Or I could show it to him in school and be like, look, you got fucked. But it ended up not being there, and I was like really sad about it. But I did record some clips with the Xbox itself, like hitting the home button, hitting X mid quad feed, so I could save some of the clips. And yeah, it's on my other account, so I can't retrieve it from